Prime Minister Boris Johnson back from Brussels with, well, not much else but a deadline. That's right, yet another EU Brexit deadline. Going to bring you all the very latest in this report, guys. But please start off by hitting the subscribe button and the bell. And I'd just like to say welcome to new supporters on the channel. We've got Caroline, Rachel, Twinkle Toes, that's one hell of a name, and Lee. Thank you so much for being supporters, guys. And if you are enjoying my reports, do hit the join button. Do look in the top pinned comment for the link. Would really appreciate if you become a supporter here on the channel. Now, some different reports, interpretations of Boris Johnson's return to the UK after discussions with EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen yesterday. The Times, with Boris Johnson refuses to back down in face of Brexit deadlock in Brussels. One person who's more sceptical than that certainly is Nigel Farage, saying it is clear the EU wants our PM to stick to his oven-ready deal, also known as the new EU treaty. I still believe that he will capitulate. My hope is I am wrong. And guys, do let me know in the comments below what you're making of what Boris is doing. Do you have faith in him still? Do you think he'll capitulate? Let me know in the comments. Keen to hear from you. As the Telegraph report, though, the Prime Minister and EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen held discussions over a 3-hour dinner in Brussels, but it's understood the agreement between the two sides seems a distant prospect. Now, as viewers of this channel will know, Boris Johnson previously set out a 15th of October deadline that was crystal clear, essentially saying if an agreement wasn't done by that date, that the UK would move on, would go no deal. And the problem with what we're doing at the moment is, does anyone seriously believe in this deadline? Do we seriously believe now that if a deal isn't done by Sunday, Boris will announce no deal? Perhaps he will. But once you've set deadlines and allowed them to pass, you know, the fact that we're negotiating now into December, we've had so much time to do these negotiations and we haven't walked away. That, of course, is going to make some Brexiteers, I suspect, quite nervous. But as the Telegraph report, a Downing Street source told the Telegraph, very large gaps remain between the two sides and it is still unclear whether these can be bridged. And of course, I pointed this out before, it's gone round and round in circles, guys, hasn't it? It really has gone round and round in circles on the issue of the level playing field, on the issue of governance, on the issue of fisheries. We've seen repeated many, many times now from Lord Frost and Michel Barnier have pointed out that basically the negotiations have been stuck on these points. Would it not be better now to accept the fact there is not going to be an agreement, prepare for no deal, make people aware that's what we're doing, instead of negotiating on and on and on? I mean, are they really going to be negotiating on New Year's Eve? Let's wait and see. But the source adding to the Telegraph, the PM does not want to leave any route to a possible deal untested. The PM and von der Leyen agreed that by Sunday, a firm decision should be taken about the future of the talks. Now, let me know if you think that deadline means anything. Another government official, and I'm going to get to that in a bit, has already said that that potentially could be extended again. So we wait and see. But I want viewers to really understand a point here, because this is a point in terms of the crux of these negotiations that doesn't get discussed enough. You may have seen a few UK journalists now using the term that I've been using for a very long time, competitive advantage. That is what this comes down to. And you will see, as Politico report, Germany will accept no deal if UK won't move on Brexit competition demands. And this is really important, because all the way along we've been told by Remainers and indeed the EU themselves there are no advantages to Brexit. Okay, well, if that was true, why do you want a so-called level playing field? Why do you want the UK to sign up to EU rules? Why do you want the UK to sign up and commit to EU restrictions? It's because they know there are huge competitive advantages we can gain and take as an independent country outside of the EU's jurisdiction, outside of the EU's rules, but they want to tie the UK to them. It shows you that there are huge possibilities and huge competitive advantages. And so we've seen in this Politico report, a Brexit deal on future EU-UK trade is only possible if it prevents unfair competition. German Chancellor Angela Merkel said today. This exposes it, doesn't it? The fact that Brexit does give the UK a competitive advantage, the fact that the EU knows that, and the fact that the EU wants to try and stop that by getting the UK to sign up to rules that stops that competitive advantage, or as they describe it, unfair competitive advantage. And during my time briefly as an MEP in the European Parliament, I had several discussions with MEPs from other countries where I laid out very clearly, I want UK Brexit competitive advantage. That is the entire point of this. Take back our sovereignty so we can make our own decisions, whether the EU likes them or not. If you go back on that and concede that we'll only do things that the EU's pre-approved of because we've signed up to it in a deal, it rather makes a mockery of that independence that we want to wield with competitive advantage. Angela Merkel quoted as saying, there is still the chance of an agreement, she told the Bundestag. I don't think we will know tomorrow, referring to yesterday, if this will succeed or not. At least I can't promise that, but we are continuing to work. Merkel stressed that fair competition between British and EU companies must be guaranteed through a so-called level playing field. No, we don't want a level playing field. We want Brexit competitive advantage. We want to be able to do things we couldn't do as members of the EU. We want to be our government to be able to make choices in the national interest. And I keep going back to this, going back to the scenario. Imagine if we had a general election in this country where the parties in this country couldn't put in place a policy because it contravenes the EU's level playing field. It would be preposterous. It would be ridiculous. That must be rejected. But very clear that the EU are seriously worried about Brexit competitive advantage. I just wanted to go back to the Express reporting. Dominic Raab can't rule out another Brexit extension after the Sunday deadline. Never say never. Raab said he could not rule out the possibility of Boris Johnson agreeing to a further extension of the Brexit trade talks with Brussels past the Sunday deadline. So they've just agreed one and they can't rule out another. Asked whether the two leaders could rule out or could decide to postpone the end of the talks, Raab said, never say never. Never say never. I think it's unlikely, but can't categorically exclude it. It depends on the progress made between now and then. And he said there's still clearly some scope to keep talking, but there are significant points of differences that remain. On Sunday, they need to take stock and decide on the future of negotiations. Again, it seems to me at this dinner yesterday, as been the case for months and months and months, it's the same issues that are coming up. There's very little progress. So frankly, what is the point? Surely the time has come to draw a line in the sand, press ahead with full sovereignty, with full control, and with no level playing field, but wielding Brexit competitive advantage, able to do things that we were not able to do inside the EU's rules, inside the EU's orbit. Let me know what you think Boris Johnson is going to do, guys. Do you think this will conclude on Sunday, or do you think, as I suspect, then this may simply be go on and on and on now, right to the end of the month? Could be wrong about that, of course. Perhaps we will see the Prime Minister say, sorry, that's it, we're going, no deal. But, you know, the likes of Nigel Farage and many others, I suspect, and I know from the comments, and there's some scepticism now from you guys that watch this channel, that you think Boris will inevitably almost do a deal. Let me know what you think is going to happen, guys. And as ever, if you found this report helpful and informative, please do hit the thumbs up button. That really helps me out. And as I said before, you can support my work here by hitting the join button. See the link in the top pinned comment. And of course, guys, as ever, thank you so much for watching.